protecting your interests as a real estate professional. In the previous section, we discussed the scope of an agent's duty and how agents are not expected to act as professional inspectors while still maintaining a duty to disclose material facts and suspicious conditions. That discussion naturally leads to an important practical question for every real estate licensee. How can agents protect themselves from legal liability while still fulfilling their disclosure obligations? One of the most effective risk management strategies available to a real estate professional is careful observation and documentation of what is visible during property showings, listing appointments, and inspections. Agents are not expected to conduct technical inspections of a property, but they are expected to recognize and disclose conditions that are readily observable during a normal walkthrough of the property. The importance of this practice is reinforced by a long-standing legal principle, often summarized by the phrase, "Ignorance of the law is no excuse." In other words, an agent cannot avoid responsibility simply by claiming that they did not notice something that would have been obvious to a reasonably careful real estate professional. This does not mean that agents must search through crawl spaces, dismantle fixtures, open electrical panels, or conduct structural testing. Courts generally recognize that real estate professionals do not possess the specialized expertise of engineers, plumbers, electricians, or professional inspectors. Instead, the expectation is that agents should identify conditions that would reasonably draw attention during a typical property viewing. For example, if a property has strong odors suggesting mold or moisture problems, visible stains on ceilings that may indicate roof leaks, or large cracks in walls or foundations, these conditions may raise questions that should be communicated to the client. When such observations occur, the agent should recommend that the client obtain professional inspections or evaluations from qualified experts. This approach helps agents fulfill their disclosure obligations without stepping outside the boundaries of their professional expertise. Documenting observations to reduce liability. One of the key lessons from cases like Pagano versus Crone is that agents who communicate what they observe and document their recommendations for inspections place their clients in a better position to make informed decisions. Documentation provides evidence that the agent acted responsibly and encouraged appropriate investigation of potential issues. This documentation may appear in written communications, transaction notes, disclosure forms, inspection requests, or other transaction records. For example, if an agent notices staining on a ceiling during a showing, the agent may document the observation and recommend that the buyer obtain a roof inspection. Similarly, if an agent notices that a property sits at a low elevation where water appears to collect, the agent may recommend that the buyer investigate drainage conditions or obtain a professional property inspection. Arizona courts have consistently recognized that the duty of a broker includes disclosing material facts known to the broker and communicating relevant information to the client. This principle was emphasized in Jennings v. Lee, 105 Ares 167, 1969, which confirmed the fiduciary obligation of brokers to disclose material information affecting a transaction. At the same time, Arizona courts have also acknowledged that brokers are not required to independently verify every representation made by the seller unless there is reason to believe the information may be inaccurate. This principle was discussed in Aranki v. RKP Investments, Inquirer 194 Rs 206, Apparar 1999. By observing, documenting, and recommending inspections where appropriate, agents can help ensure they are meeting both their legal obligations and professional standards. Sample questions to identify observable issues. During showings or listing appointments, agents can ask simple observational questions that help identify potential issues requiring further investigation. These questions are not meant to replace professional inspections, but rather to encourage awareness of conditions that may warrant additional attention. Agents may consider asking questions such as whether cracks are visible in the foundation, whether interior or exterior walls appear to require painting, or whether fencing and exterior structures appear to be in good condition. Observations may also involve evaluating whether the ground slopes away from the foundation, whether standing water is present on the property, or whether there are signs that water may have previously accumulated near the structure. Other practical observations may include whether the driveway contains visible cracks, whether floors feel uneven, squeaky, or springy, and whether light switches appear to function normally. Agents may also observe whether the property appears to have hot water available, whether irrigation systems are present and functioning, and whether stains or discoloration appear on interior walls or ceilings. Unusual odors can also be an important indicator. Persistent smells may suggest issues involving moisture intrusion, mold, sewage problems, or environmental contamination that require professional investigation. These types of questions help agents recognize potential warning signs while remaining within the scope of their professional role. Identifying significant property concerns. While minor cosmetic issues may not always require formal disclosure, agents should pay special attention to conditions that could require substantial repair costs or indicate underlying structural or environmental problems. For example, electrical system concerns may arise if there are visible signs of damaged outlets, exposed wiring, or malfunctioning switches. Environmental factors such as mold growth or persistent moisture conditions may indicate potential health risks. Structural concerns may appear in the form of foundation movement, large cracks in walls, uneven floors, or drooping roof lines. Heating and cooling systems that appear damaged or non-functional may also raise concerns requiring further inspection. Plumbing issues may be suggested by visible leaks, water stains, or signs of water damage around sinks, toilets, or appliances. Roofing concerns may become apparent when shingles appear damaged, ceilings show stains, or roof lines appear uneven. Drainage problems may also be significant if the property shows evidence of water accumulation, erosion near the foundation, or poor grading around the structure. By focusing on significant concerns that may affect property value or safety, agents help ensure that buyers receive meaningful information while also encouraging appropriate professional inspections. Online discussion. Why is documenting observable conditions an important risk management strategy for real estate agents? Answer. Documentation shows that the agent recognized potential concerns and advised the client to investigate further. This record can help demonstrate that the agent acted responsibly and fulfilled their disclosure obligations. Why are real estate agents not expected to perform technical property inspections? Answer. Real estate agents are trained in contracts, negotiations, and real estate law, not in structural engineering or construction analysis. Technical inspections should be performed by licensed professionals such as home inspectors or engineers. Why should agents recommend professional inspections when suspicious conditions are observed? Answer. Professional inspections allow qualified experts to evaluate potential defects. Recommending inspections protects the client and helps reduce the risk of disputes after closing.